All right, we're going to go ahead and get started right now, if you don't mind. The mayor is caught up with business of running the great city of Frederick, so he'll be with us shortly. So we're going to rearrange the schedule here just a little bit, but wanted to welcome everybody to the 15th annual Frederick Running Festival. Today we officially gear up for the 15th running of the event, which has been such a great event for the city and such a great event for the region. It builds that civic pride, and it gives the city of Frederick and the county of Frederick the opportunity to come out and really show that great Frederick spirit. So we're excited to be here once again. 15 years is a great accomplishment. And in 15 years, I want to take a little walk down memory lane with everybody here. We've seen it all. We've seen snow, believe it or not. We've seen rain. We've seen tent wrecking winds. One year, we showed up the next day and all our tents were completely wrecked because of 50-mile-an-hour winds came in and upended everything. We had a man, Michael Wardian, set a world record for doing a marathon with a baby stroller, which was awesome record. And then we also had the year when Frederick was set on its ear when Jen Shelton won the women's marathon in a string bikini, which was certainly a sight to behold. But the one thing, or two things that have always stayed constant, that is the growth of the event and the great community support that we've received from everybody, from the mayor to the residents, to the churches, to the business here in Frederick. And that has allowed us to grow this event from about 1,000 people to this year about 7,500 runners total. And there's a lot of people to thank, and this year we wanted to make sure in our 15th year we did a really good job thanking all the people in the community. Number one, I need to thank Rachel Ridgway, our race director who lives here in the community and carries the Frederick Running Festival banner wherever she goes every single day of her life. So she's done a great job for us. Special thanks goes out to all our friends at the police department who have been absolutely awesome. Way back to our buddy Wade Brown, who started us off for years, and he was in charge. And then Sergeant Joe Simmons, Lieutenant Dedlis Dudley. And then this year, of course, in the back, we have Angela Wechter and Chris Herman. Please give everybody way because you guys deserve it, and you guys do a great job making it easy for us and easy for our runners. And want you to know that we really appreciate it. Fire and Rescue, our friend Doug Wallach and his team for doing a great job keeping our runners safe and coordinating with the medical team. Scott Gazy and his team from Public Works and Park and Rec. He's out there making sure the signs get up, making sure, once again, not just our runners are taken care of, but also all the residents know what's going on. And that's what allows all the residents to really get behind this event because they have so much knowledge of it. City Traffic Engineer's Office, our friends here at City Hall. Once again, our start and finish. Where is she? There she is. Michelle's here. Jackie from the Frederick Fairgrounds. Thanks to John Baer and Randy and the entire staff over there. The Frederick Fairgrounds is a very unique spot. We have an opportunity to finish and start at the same location that also has plenty of parking, which is great. And we also have our Health and Fitness Expo there going all day Saturday, which really allows us to have a very easy start-finish line configuration. And I want to thank you guys for all your help over the years. It's been great. This year we have runners from 31 states, 3 countries. And I know you're going to ask, Kev, so I'm going to hit you right now. Canada, France, and Uruguay are the 3 countries that will be represented this year. And all that is music to the ears of John Fiesler, Richard Griffin, Heather Graham, Donna Goff from the Department of Economic Development and Tourism. These are the folks who are at the forefront of economic development here in the Frederick area. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our good friend Richard Griffin to say a few words.
Good morning. So I'm Richard Griffin. I'm Director of Economic Development for the City of Frederick, and as an aging runner, I'm going to remind Rachel that a 12-minute mile is just as far as a 6-minute mile. So on behalf of our economic development partners at the Frederick County Office of Economic Development, Helen Profiter, Visit Frederick, our Tourism Council, John Fiesler, the Downtown Frederick Partnership, Karen Norman, and the Frederick County Chamber of Commerce, Elizabeth Cromwell. I'd like to thank Lee and Corrigan Sports for the long-term relationship and commitment that he and the company have had for Frederick and the Frederick Running Festival. This clearly is becoming, if not is, the Mid-Atlantic's best half marathon. So let's give it up one time for the Frederick half. Sports tourism is defined as anything that involves people traveling from to a location from outside the region to participate in or watch or enjoy a sporting event. And the Frederick Running Festival generates real economic and quality of life returns for the community. So just consider a few here for a moment. For Frederick residents, the race adds yet another opportunity to create, it's another unique recreational opportunity to run, cheer, and build community pride. So for the residents, it's a great event. From others from outside the region, they come, they eat, drink, sleep, shop, race, and then they leave. We don't have to educate their children, and they serve as great marketing for Frederick all over the country. They wear their gear all over the U.S. and abroad. They tweet, post, share their experiences in Frederick on a multitude of social media platforms, which quickly markets Frederick as a great place to live, visit, work, play, and shop. So how many of us have seen folks in person or on social media proudly wearing t-shirts or sharing their experiences? And I think we can all relate to how that social media experience works. And then there's real dollars and cents. The event generates real economic impact, and Corrigan Sports has periodically done some economic impact studies through Towson University Regional Economic Studies Institute, which estimates that the Frederick Running Festival generates about $3.7 million a year in direct and indirect economic impact. And the event, as Lee said, is continuing to grow. 7% larger this year than last, and where is that economic impact coming from? We have runners staying in our local hotels, which, by the way, I understand that 4 partner hotels are sold out. They carbo load in our restaurants. They tell race stories over local brews in our craft breweries and distilleries about how they broke their best personal time. They gear up with latest retail items in our plentiful shops. They fuel their chariots up at our local convenience gas stations. And oh yes, we do like to hear the sound of those local cash registers singing, don't we? So how about a big hand for all the hotels, retailers, eateries, and watering holes around Frederick that are all geared up to support this race? So lastly, I want to say that Corrigan Sports continues to make charitable contributions to this community as well. And over the past 15 years, the organization's generated over $500,000 for local organizations. And you're going to hear a little bit about this in a moment, but I want to say that it is not just rare, but it's a great quality of Corrigan Sports and this race to be giving back to the community each year. So how about a big hand for them for that? So Frederick is indeed fortunate to host terrific sporting events, including a lot of 5Ks, bike races, and of course this year's Frederick Running Festival. And the city is a really proud partner, and I would be remiss in economic development if I didn't mention all the hard work of our mayor, staff of the city, the police department, our parking department. Stand up, guys, parking department. Stand up, be recognized for a second. To assist in the logistics of the race. Now, I know what you're thinking right now. If I ran as much as I talk, I'd be in great shape. So on that note, I'm going to turn the podium back over to Lee. Let's have a great race. And remember, runners are more likely to survive the zombie apocalypse and get cheaper health insurance.
Thank you, Richard. Richard hit on something, and I want to hold these up because I think we knocked it out of the park this year, and that is the shirts and the gear. And one of the things that's happened over the years, and something we focus on at Corrigan Sports and our events, is we'd like to have great apparel, great runner shirts. And the reason we like to do that is because we don't want these shirts washing cars, right? This is the team relay shirt. This is the Frederick Foot and Ankle 5K shirt this year, which is awesome. And then we have absolutely hit it out of the park with the half marathon garment this year, which is driving our numbers. And that is, it's a quarter zip with the Maryland flag there. And once again, these things turn into great marketing items for us as people wear these with pride to the gym, and they wear them to other events. And invariably what happens is runners, say a guy standing at the Marine Corps Marathon, going to get his race packet, and he's wearing the Frederick stuff. Invariably, somebody turns to that guy and says, hey, I heard about Frederick. I heard they have a nice event up there. How was it? And at that point, that guy turns into our very best grassroots marketing representative. So that is why we do that, and we are really, really proud this year to be providing these. In fact, everybody here gets one on their way out today. So awesome about that. Right now, we are joined by the hardest working man in Frederick, #1 runner, Mayor Randy McClement.
Sorry for being late. This job gets in the way of having fun, you know. I like this picture. This is cool. Everybody runs with a beer. Life is good. This is always a great event. You know, it's a great event for a couple reasons. One, organizers do a great job putting it on, and they do it with community in aspect. They know that this is a big thing for the community from an event standpoint, but they also know that it can be a burden upon the residents in some factors, and they want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So every year they refine this, every year they look at it, every year they do this, they do that with that in mind, and that's all we could ever ask for from a city aspect, and you guys do a great job with that, and we greatly appreciate that. But as I've said in the past, our community has a tendency to, while they may not have liked it in the beginning, way back then, when the first year you did it was snowing, but you know, the community has totally changed around, and there's a big embrace for this. The amount of people who have run parties, who bring their neighbors out onto the curbs in front of their houses and all get together and drink beer and watch you guys go by, you know, and cheer you on. It's amazing, because I have the opportunity. I actually walk down to the start, and then I start walking back and try to walk behind different parts of the runners, and I go through some of the communities, and I see it where they're just, people are having a blast, you know, and I see it in the faces of the runners where they love it. You know, they get encouragement. It helps them, I assume. I'm not a runner, but I assume it helps you when people are cheering you on to go, so I think it's great. The other part of it is the fact that you bring in people who want to help, but help themselves, you know, all of those entities out here who come every year and say, hey, we want to be a part of this and we can help you out, whether it's collecting all those shirts that people throw off along the way, to our police department, who make sure everybody gets through the run safely, you know, and has that final thing to let the roads open at the end, to your partners that come in here to help sponsor the race. You know, it's a great team event. And I can't say any more of the fact that I'm glad you guys are here, glad you keep on doing it. Hope you keep doing it for more and more years, and do what you do best, make it better every year. And thank you very much for choosing the city of Frederick to do this in. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. One of the things that is really key to the success of these types of events are sponsorship support. And in the past, we were blessed to have Care for Us for many years of support. And what we did with that money, and what allowed us to market and promote this event so much, was that fee that they provided us. And we threw that into marketing and advertising and public relations, and it really paid off, as obviously we've seen tremendous growth of this event over the years. Allowed us to quadruple the size of this event in 10 years. This year, we actually fly without a title sponsor, but we do have several sponsors that are so important to us. And I want to recognize a number of them. Our friends from Safeway. Where did Kelly Boyd go? There she is. She's sneaking back there. Our friends from Exo Skin are with us today. We have so many folks that come out and help us and make this event great, but we're able to still grow this event, as Richard said, 7% this year, and that's something that my team deserves a pat on the back for, the CSE team. Mark Klum's here today, my daughter Amanda, Michael Valente, and of course our public relations Director Dave Gale and our marketing team, Whitney and Chris Tomlinson, do a great job for us. So we keep plugging away whether we have a title sponsor or not. But moving forward into 2018, 2019, and 2020, we have a title sponsor. Yeah, and we're announcing it today. We're so excited to announce that Frederick Foot and Ankle will be the new title sponsor of the Frederick Running Festival. Right now, they're a major sponsor with their sponsorship of the 5K, but they will be the title sponsor of the entire event. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Brenna Steinberg to say a few words.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Lee, and thank you, Rachel, for allowing us to be here today and announcing our sponsorship with the Frederick Running Festival. Frederick Foot and Ankle has been privileged to help this community for the past 18 years. And we are a team of foot and ankle surgeons specializing in podiatric medicine and surgery. Today we employ over 65 people. Our offices are located in Frederick, Maryland and Urbana, Maryland. We want to thank Corrigan Sports Entertainment Group for giving us this great opportunity. It's been an honor to partner with the Frederick Running Festival for several years now, and we take great pleasure in supporting local community events by participating in running events and sponsoring over 50 local community events every year. Some of the charities we support include the Frederick Rescue Mission, the Hartley House, and the Girls on a Run, just to name a few. At Frederick Foot and Ankle, our primary goal is to treat the lower leg, foot, and ankle concerns using conservative methods with the latest medical advances. We are so excited to encourage people to walk and then to run, and encourage our new runners and athletes in Frederick to be part of the Frederick Running Festival. We are honored to be Frederick's local podiatrists because at Frederick Foot and Ankle, we keep you moving.
Thank you, Brenna. And we're excited about that partnership. It's going to be a great partnership moving forward. And I forgot to give you your official 5K horn, Brenna. So I'm going to present this with you. You can start the 5K with that.
And I can start running.
And then you can start running. At this time, I'd like to introduce our race director, Rachel Ridgway, who's going to take us through the weekend and probably give you a little tour of the map.
Good, almost afternoon, so good morning still for now. I'm Rachel Ridgway, as Lee said. I'm the race director. So I'm going to take you through the weekend, the schedule of events for the weekend. So right now it's all about setup, but starting Saturday is when everything really kicks off. We have our expo opening at the fairgrounds in the big Knoll building. That opens at 10 o'clock. So that's where all the runners are going to come and pick up their bib numbers and their shirts, and then shop all of our vendors that'll be there displaying their wares. Weather for the weekend looks great, so hopefully we'll get all the rain out of our way now, and then the expo is going to be great. Then following the expo will be the Kids Fun Run. We have about 300 of the area's fastest kids in that event. They will trample Lee, always. They are super fast and are in it to win it. So that's a lot of fun to watch, actually. So after that, we have the Frederick Foot and Ankle 5K. That course is here. It's a simple course. It starts and ends on the track at the fairgrounds, runs out the new Monocacy Boulevard, and comes right back. So it's a great course. We'll have about 2,000 runners in the 5K. Sunday is the big day, though. The half marathon and two-person relay kicks off at 7 a.m. We have about 4,500 runners in that, as well as 250 two-person relay teams. That course is on this map. The course has not changed from last year to this. Last year's course, we had made a few modifications to it, and it really seemed to meet all of our needs. So the course is 100% the same as last year. So we get to go through Hood College, and then towards the end here, that was the newer section where we come up Monocacy Boulevard and finish again at the fairgrounds. So, great things. The other event that is kind of incorporated in both of those is what we call our Nut Job Challenge. Those are for the runners who will do the 5K on Saturday night and then turn around and do the half marathon on Sunday morning. So when they finish, they get a special Nut Job medal. So, well earned. And then once everybody's across the finish line, we have our celebration village in the infield there of the fairgrounds. We have fun, we have games, we have stuff for the kids, stuff for families. There is a beer garden there. Our runners like to hang out and listen to the band that'll be playing. We have live bands at both finish lines, actually, and that's a lot of fun. So, and again, all the treats inside the Runner Village will be from our partner Safeway, and we are super happy about that. There'll be a lot of food and fruits and drinks, all compliments of Safeway. So, other people we need to thank along the way that make all this possible are our volunteers. A bunch of our volunteers are here today, as well as those coordinators. And we have at least 500 volunteers out on the course on race day. That doesn't include our medical team from the EMS, also from FMH. They have people in the finish line. And then Frederick Foot and Ankle also has people there just to deal with the blisters and toenails and things that crop up on race day. So we couldn't do it without all of them. Taylor, he's not here today. Taylor from our staff coordinates all of that. We have one person that just works with all the local volunteers here. And I want to thank Taylor, I'll thank him personally, for helping get out there and help with all of our volunteer coordination issues. So anyway, I'm looking forward to a great weekend. I'll be in the lead car, so I get to be the first one across the finish line. Unofficially. Anyway, let me hand it back over to Lee.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. We have a great promotional partner in town here, WFMD, WFRA, a major promotional partner. They push us for the months leading up to the event. I want to thank the whole team over there. They do such a great job supporting us. And this year, we're joined by on-air personality, Mr. Patrick Haynes, who'll be raising some money for St. Jude's Hospital. And we'll be keeping a close eye on you, mister. And would you like any extra medical support to follow you?
Yes.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce Mr. Patrick Haynes from WFMD, WFRA.
I got to say, I've been excited to do the Frederick Half Marathon since the second I finished it last year. I'm going to add on a little fun surprise here, and the Frederick Foot and Ankle is getting into the title sponsorship. They're one of the sponsors of the station's running and walking team, Team WFRE. You guys have been keeping us running. I can attest to that because, like most runners, I hurt myself all the time. So thank you guys for being a part of that. I've mentioned Team WFRE. That's our fantastic running and walking group. I have the privilege of joining them, who have last week just got back from Nashville running a half marathon down there and are crazy enough to do that again. They've been raising money for St. Jude. Last year, they did over $200,000 and are already on pace this year. They've crushed $150,000 and we're not even halfway through the year. I love the Frederick Running Festival, and I can't wait to be a part of it once again. The station is going to be all over the place this weekend. You'll catch a whole bunch of us at the expo on Saturday, and then I think we're at 2 of the mile markers. I don't know which ones we have the privilege of being at, but we'll be down there. And that'll be a whole bunch of fun. We'll be down there with Premier Dental Arts. I'll be running it this weekend. It's going to be an absolute blast, and I cannot wait for it. You don't really understand or really know a city till you've kind of run around it. 13.1 miles is maybe one of the best, fulfilling ways to really get a lay of the land. I've gone back to just about every inch of that map at a walking pace to kind of explore it and see that. And I can say, little humbled, little terrified that miles 10 and 11 are the same. Schifferstadt, that's a real fun part of the race. So I'm looking forward to this weekend. We're excited to still be teaming up with everyone from Corrigan Sports for the Running Festival. I cannot wait for this weekend. And thank you for letting us be a part of it.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Patrick. Thanks, Patrick. And now for one of the highlights of today's festivities is certainly before the first runner even crosses the finish line. We're proud to present some charity funds to some very worthy local charities, organizations that help us with our operations and logistics of putting on this event. First of all, a longtime partner, an organization that does so much good in the community, the Frederick Rescue Mission. and the good people from Frederick Rescue Mission. They've been here for years with us, and they have literally put years back on the lives of the boys and girls at Corrigan Sports Enterprises, because they help with setup, with tear down, and it's exhausting weekend for us, and they really, really help us. So I'd like to invite them up and have the check ceremony with Ms. Rachel. Get on that check. Get on that check. All right, I'll get in here. I'll get in right here. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks for everything you do. We really do appreciate it. We're also fortunate to be able to provide some support to local charity efforts from this organization this year. I'd like to recognize our friends from Summit Trace Church, who provide the sunrise services at the start and pass out the medals at the finish line. So Pastor Dan, Lisa, come on up.
Lisa was unable to make it today.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm coming in. I'm coming in with you. There we go. I was pinching Rachel behind that shack. This year, we're also proud to be making a donation to Community Living, who help us with the shirt distribution. And trust me, everybody wants to get their hands on these. So they do a great job making sure the right people get the right shirts and the wrong people don't get the shirts, which is really important, obviously. So ladies and gentlemen, Donna, Carlotta, from our good friends from Community Living. Come on up. And at this time, I'd like to open it up to the media and see if you guys have any questions about this year's event. More than happy to answer questions. Rachel, don't go too far. Wow, that's new. Yep. We're up about 7% at last count. Of course, we take registrations right up to the very last minute on Saturday. So. But we were pacing 7% up. Yeah, it's going to be a little chilly, but it's going to be perfect for the runners, actually. Not so awesome for maybe the spectators, but we have a great history of getting really lucky in Frederick. And even though it might start out a little chilly, I think, by the time 10 o'clock rolls around, it's going to be a great day, and people will really be enjoying themselves at the Celebration Village. And the premium, yeah, right, exactly. Anything else, Kev? You good? Anything for you? You all right? Any questions? Thanks to our friends at Safeway. Yes, we have plenty of bananas, apples, bars, water, you name it. We have all kinds of snacks out there.
What's the goo flavor this year? Last year I had chocolate, and that made me extra thirsty. If you read your runner's handbook, you would have loved it. I'll make sure to read it when I leave.
I think it's pina colada this year. So what I'd like to invite everybody to do is please stay with us, have a sandwich, and then before you leave, take one of these awesome Frederick Running Festival shirts this year. They're out there. Please just take one, because we, as you can imagine, this year we are tight. And we don't want to be wasting any. So want to thank everybody once again for coming, and thank everybody for helping make the Frederick Running Festival a great, great event. Thank you very much.
Thank you.